Okay, good afternoon, Nagahamdune, Bhante G. Today our subject of the discussion with Most Venerable Bhante Henepola Gunarathana is Jhana. He is also fondly known as Bhante G. So Jhana and the power of concentration, to deep dive with Most Venerable Bhante G. This is our YouTube series. We have been doing this for the last 3 to 4 years in different subjects, and we like to continue again, and thank you very much for your time, Bhante. Okay, join us for a rare and intimate 2-hour profound conversation with Most Venerable Bhante Henepola Gunarathana, world-renowned meditation master and author of the bestselling Mindfulness in Plain English. Dear audience, we are honored to welcome Bhante G, who will be celebrating his 98th birthday in December 2025. He is a teacher of Jhana meditation for over 7 decades. Bhante G has transmitted his profound practice across continents and cultures, bridging ancient wisdom with modern needs. He is the founding abbot of Bhavana Society, established in 1982 in West Virginia, beautiful Highview, and holds an honorary title of Chief Sanghanāyaka of North America. His legacy spans global travel, teachings, and books that have transformed the countless lives. In this session, we'll explore the nature and purpose of Jhana meditation, what is Jhana and how to access it, the connection between Jhana, connection of Samadhi and insight, which is Vipassana, how Jhana strength, concentration and insight, overcome the 5 hindrances, stories from Bhante G's extraordinary journey as a monk, a teacher, and a scholar. Today, we explore Jhana, deeply transformative meditation practice with the Reverend Bhante G. Whether you are a beginner or a seasoned meditator, this discussion will bring a clarity and insight to your journey. The process we are going to follow today is we have divided the discussion into several segments, actually a total of 4. We'll start with the foundation section, which is hope to get it done into 15 to 20 minutes in Bhante G's convenience. The first question, Nagamdane, is what is Jhana?
Jhana has 2 aspects. It comes from the root called Jha. That is, its 2 definition is Ārambana Upanijjhana and Lakkana Upanijjhana. Ārambana Upanijjhana means you suppress hindrances by focusing mind on one particular selected object until you manage to overcome your 5 hindrances. That means when you concentrate on one object, like breathing, then you become aware of long inhaling as long inhaling, long exhaling as long exhaling, and then you, after a while, the long inhaling turns into short inhaling. So you breathe in noticing short inhaling as short inhaling, short exhaling as short exhaling. When you follow these 2 steps, then you become aware of the whole breath body. Whole breath body is the beginning, middle, and end of each inhaling and each exhaling. Beginning is the nostrils, middle is the chest, end is the lower abdomen. And while exhaling, Lower abdomen is the beginning, chest is the middle, and nostrils are the end. Notice in these three places of breath, you breathe in and breathe out. That is called knowing all breath body. And then your mind, body, breathing becomes relaxed. Body is relaxed, breath is relaxed, mind is relaxed. Notice in this relaxed state, you breathe in, breathe out, and then that is the situation, time, where you feel sleepy. Definitely when everything is calm, relaxed, peaceful, environment is relatively favorable, no noise, temperature is reasonably good, perhaps you may have some food in your stomach. All these are good for you to sleep. So you feel sleepiness. And sleepiness is very sweet. You like it very much. You feel sleep in meditation sweeter than sleeping at night. So you welcome sleepiness. And no matter how long you sleep, you won't get up with new insight. You will remain as dumb as you were before. And therefore you have to overcome sleepiness. In order to overcome sleepiness, you have to do something. One is you pinch your earlobes with thumbs and index finger hard enough for you to feel the pinch. Then you wake up. If that doesn't work, you open your eyes, roll your eyeballs, and then close your eyes and focus your mind on the breath. If that doesn't work, take a deep breath, hold it as long as you can, and then slowly breathe out. Again, take a deep breath, hold it as long as you can, and breathe out very slowly. When you do it several times, your body would be warmed up and you feel even perspire and sleepiness disappears. And then the opposite can happen. Or sometimes you can even visualize a very, very bright light, like sunlight. That also would take care of your sleepiness. And then you will be wide awake. This time, perhaps your mind begin to wander here and there. Go into the past and remember things you have seen, heard, smelled, tasted, touched in the past. Or you may ponder over the future, what you would do after sitting meditation, what telephone call you make, what letter you write, which friend you contact, and so forth. So the mind will vacillate between the past and future like pendulum. It doesn't stay in the present moment. And therefore you bring the mind back to the breath. Breath is your anchor. You anchor your mind on the breath. And then you may gain some degree of concentration. At that time, in spite of all this effort, you may remember something that you have eaten. Desire, greed, some kind of very delicious piece of cake ice cream, meals, restaurants, food, and so forth. Or you have seen something you like very much. You have seen the movie, persons, places, rivers, animals, and so forth. So you go your mind to things that you like very much. That is your desire. Then you have to overcome that by thinking, well, I have taken ice cream many, many times in the past. This ice cream is not going to be different. And I have tasted food so many times. This is not going to be different. So let me have this moment for this practice of meditation. So you advise yourself and bring mind back to the breath. Or you may remember something that hurt you. Somebody talked to you in a harsh way, robbed you, attacked you physically, attacked you verbally, and then anger can arise. That also you have to overcome by practicing metta, loving friendliness. Once that is overcome, you may still have some doubt about your own practice, about the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, morality, and so on. You may have doubt. You have to overcome doubt also by having deep faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. So these are the 5 hindrances. You have to overcome them by using one object that is called Jhāna. Now when all these are subsided, you gain some degree of concentration. And that concentration has very wonderful qualities. That is, they have thought of letting go, thought of friendliness, thought of compassion, and joy, happiness, and concentration. Concentration is called wholesome pointedness of the one-pointedness of a wholesome state of mind. One-pointedness of wholesome mind. That's called concentration. Then you gain jhana. That is what is called jhana, that you gain by focusing mind on external object. That's called ārammana upanijjhana. Other definition is lakkana upanijjhana. Lakkana means characteristics. What are the characteristics? Anicca, dukkha, anatta. Impermanent, unsatisfactoriness, and selflessness. By focusing mind on them, you gain concentration, because everything is impermanent. There's nothing to excite. That which is impermanent is definitely unsatisfactory. Whatever is impermanent, unsatisfactory is without any permanent self. When you see this sameness in everything, you gain concentration. That is called Lakkana Upanijjhana. That is the second. That is what is called Vipassana concentration, mindfulness. You develop through mindfulness, you gain concentration. So these are the 2 types of concentration. Okay, that is what I can say. In answering your question as to what is jhana.
Thank you, Bhante. Yeah, so Bhante, the breathing exercise that you mentioned, so is that part of the Anapanasati or the mindfulness of being?
Anapanasati is the beginning.
At the beginning.
Anapanasati we use for any mindfulness, any meditation.
Okay.
For tranquility meditation or vipassana meditation.
Okay.
I explain how we gain tranquility meditation using Anapanasati.
Yes.
Also, I explain how we use Anapanasati for gaining mindfulness.
Yes.
Okay. Because in Anapanasati, sutta
Yes.
divided into 4 segments. Each segment has 4. They are called 4 tetrads. 4 tetrads. Last tetrad is Aniccanupassana Sami Sikkati, Aniccanupassi Passisami Sikkati. Seeing impermanence you breathe in, seeing impermanence you breathe out. Viraganupassya Sami Sikkati, Viraganupassya Passisami Sikkati. Seeing dispassionate, you breathe in. Seeing dispassionate, you breathe out. Nirodhanupasya sisami sikkati, nirodhanupasya passisami sikkati. Seeing cessation, you breathe in. Seeing cessation, you breathe out. Patinisagganupasya sisami sikkati, patinisagganupasya sami sikkati. Seeing abandoning, you breathe in. Seeing abandoning, you breathe out. That is what is called vipassana jhana.
Thank you, Bhante. Our next of the follow-up question is, what is Samadhi and how is it is related to Jhana? Yes.
Concentrated mind stays in imperturbable state. Concentrated mind is imperturbable. It will not be disturbed. And that state is called Samadhi. In the very loose sense, Samadhi is called just sitting in silence. Just sitting in silence called Samadhi. In the spoken Hindi language, they say, Samadhi laga ke baitha hai. Sitting in Samadhi, the person is sitting. Sitting in Samadhi, that is, he sits in concentrated state of mind.
Is that the foundation to improve the power of concentration?
Yeah, power of concentration is very important because when we gain concentration, tranquility, samadhi, samahitam chittam yatha bhutam pajanati. Samadhi mind can see things as they really are. See things as they really are. Concentrated mind sees things as they really are. Everybody knows when one concentrates on one thing, then that thing becomes very, very clear to the person.
Yes.
So Buddha said, concentrated mind sees things as they really are. What are the things? And how you see as they really are? Things are nothing but form, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. These are the things that we have. All of us have only these 5 things.
Yes.
They are called 5 aggregate. 5 aggregate. We don't see 5 aggregates in ordinary sense, with ordinary eyes. We have to have a very specially developed insight to see the 5 aggregate as they really are. As they really are is another heavily loaded term. As they really are means as they really happening. For instance, body is constantly changing. Feeling is constantly changing. Perception, volition, thought, and consciousness, they are always changing. Never remaining the same even for 2 consecutive moments. They are changing. When we gain concentration, with that concentrated state of mind, you can see these changes in the subtlest form, maybe atomic level. you can see, molecular level, you can see the changes going on all these things. That is called seeing things as they really are.
Yeah. The next follow-up question on the Samadhi is, what are the levels of Samadhi, Bhante?
The level of concentrated, level of Jhana is the level of concentrated Samadhi.
Okay.
The highest level of Samadhi you can see in the fourth Jhana.
Okay.
There, your mind is has four qualities, such as it is parisuddha, pariyodhata, anangana, vigatupakkilesa, mudubhuta, kammaniya, thita, anajappat. These are the 8 qualities.
Right.
This is parisuddha, pure, clean.
Yeah.
Pariyodhata, figuratively it is white. Anangana, no idiosyncrasies. Vigatupakkilesa, all underlying tendencies are wiped out, at least temporarily. Mudubhuta, soft. Kammaniya, pliable. Thita, steady. Ananjapata, imperturbable. This is the highest level of Samadhi,
Right.
where all these very fine, refined qualities exist.
So you are in the fourth Jhana then? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Bhante. Is Jhana necessary for enlightenment? That's a question from our audience.
This is very often asked question.
Yes.
FQ.
Yes.
What is
Yes.
frequently asked question? FQ, frequently. No.
Okay.
FQ. Frequently asked.
Yes, question.
FAQ.
FAQ.
Question. Frequently asked question.
Yes.
Now, yes, you can attain enlightenment without jhana.
Yeah.
I tell you one situation that you find in Sanghaāyaka Nikaya. There is a sutta called Susima Sutta. Susima. Susima is a sectarian belonging to another tradition, not Buddhist, not following the Buddha, so-called Nigantas. And Nigantas found Susima was very intelligent, quick learner. So they asked Susima, go to the Buddha. Buddha is very famous. He gained a lot of followers, he gained a lot of wealth, and he is very popular. Go and find out the secret of the Buddha. And Susima went and saw Venerable Ananda and said, Venerable, I want to become a monk. So Venerable Ananda took him to the Buddha. Buddha immediately knew Susima's motive, because Buddha had a special knowledge of seeing others' mind. Paracitta vijnana jnana. And then Buddha said, yes, let him ordain, go ahead and ordain him. So Venerable Ananda ordained him. So one day Susima was sitting close to the Buddha outside in his chamber. Then several monks came from various different places and saw the Buddha and declared to the Buddha, Venerable Sir, we are enlightened. Another monk said, I am enlightened. So all these monks declared to the Buddha that they had attained enlightenment. Susima eavesdropped, overheard this conversation. And when they came out, he confronted them. He asked them, you said you have attained enlightenment? Can you appear in one place and disappear in another? Disappear in one place and appear in another place? He said, no. Can you walk on water like walking on the earth? He said, no. Can you read others' mind? No. Can you hear the sound in distant places, divine ear? Dibba Sota? He said, no. And for all the questions, they said, no, no. Then Susima said, they are not enlightened. If you are enlightened, you should be able to do all these things. Then this bhikkhu said, Venerable, whether you believe it or not, we are enlightened. But we cannot perform all these miracles. Then Susima went to the Buddha and reported to the Buddha, Venerable Sir, I overheard these monks saying that they are enlightened. I asked them these questions. They all replied no, no, no to each question. Do you think they are enlightened? Buddha said, yes, they were enlightened. If they are enlightened, how can they perform these things? Buddha said, they attain enlightenment without jhana. How come? Then Buddha asked Susima, I ask you a question. Susima, is form is permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, Venerable Sir. That which is impermanent, satisfactory or unsatisfactory? Unsatisfactory, Venerable Sir. That which is impermanent, unsatisfactory, is it considered, is it wise to consider that it has self? This is mine, this I am, this is myself. He said, no, Venerable Sir. So he asked the same question about the feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. And then seeing all these things with wisdom, they attain enlightenment. To see them with wisdom, you don't have to attain jhana. All you have to do is to see all these things with wisdom, to see them as they really are. So this is a very famous discourse that Buddha delivered. You find it in Samyutta Nikaya, as an example for attaining enlightenment without jhana. Remember this story, this name, Susima. Okay.
Okay, Bhante. Thank you. So the next one is, can lay people attain jhana? You basically address that, but we like to hear more, starting from the joy through what are the series of events that need to follow through, because we know at the beginning you mentioned we have to overcome the 5 hindrances, right?
Anybody can attain jhana. There was a very famous lay person. He is called Chitta Gahapati. Gahapati means householder. His name is Chitta. He has attained 3rd level of enlightenment, Anagami level. He was so smart that he answered questions which even monks could not answer. And he attained jhanas, and there was another woman called Matika Mata. She also was pretty old, 60-some years old woman. She has attained jhanas. And then Khujuttara, she has attained jhanas. And therefore, any lay person can attain jhana. You see, even there are 2 kinds of jhana. What you call right jhana and wrong jhana. So jhana in general is something that anybody can attain, even wrong jhana. For instance, Prince Siddhartha, when he was even a little boy, his father was a farmer. Suddhodana was a farmer. We call him Suddhodana, king, but a king of farmers. And this farmer had large amount of field to plow. That was a very big ceremony. When the rich person has a lot of lands, he has a lot of friends. So he invited all of them to come with many buffaloes and plows to plow. In this big ceremony, Siddhartha's nurses took him to the festival. She herself wanted to see the festival. It is plowing, singing, good food, and jolly making place. So she was over. So she took the baby and put on the rose apple tree and was watching. And she even did not pay attention to him. Siddhartha was sitting and he saw line of ants moving. Behind the ants, lizard came and began to pick ants one by one and eat. Then came a snake and swallowed the lizard. Then Siddhartha, the little boy, thought, what law is there that big fellows swallow the small ones? It happens even today.
Yes, even today it's the same.
Small companies are swallowed by big companies. And thinking of this, he naturally got involved in focusing mind on the breathing and gained jhana. He was not enlightened, that little boy. And there are many stories like so. Any lay person who is, and also Prince Siddhartha at the time, is very clean in mind. He has not broken any of the 5 precepts. How can he break the precept? Very little boy. So the person has to observe the precept first, sila. Without sila, no samadhi. Without samadhi, no panya. So sila, samadhi, panya are the necessary prerequisites for attaining jhana. When you practice sila, at least 5 precepts for lay people. Your mind is clean, pure, you don't feel guilty feeling, and you don't have restlessness and worry. Why people have restlessness, worry in meditation? Because they remember they have broken a precept, then they begin to worry about it. Worry about it, other people will find it out, or if it is serious, police will find out, and he will put into jail and so forth. So, worries. So, therefore, sila is very important. When in Sanghaāyaka Nikaya, there is a Jata Sutta. And deity came and asked the Buddha, Anto Jata Bahijata, Jata Jarita Pada, Santangotam Puchami Koimang Vijate Jatang. There are problems outside, problems inside, and they are muddled up with. I am confused. How can somebody unentangle outside entanglement, inside entanglement, entangle, again entanglement. So Buddha said, replying, Sīle patittā narosa pañño, cittam paññañca bhāve, ātā pinipako bhikkhu, so imang vijate jatang. Establish yourself in morality and develop your mind and wisdom. Chittang means concentration, jhana practice, and then wisdom. So, in the first place, you have to have moral practice, ethical practice. So, if any person, any lay person who observes the 5 precepts, his mind is clean, he can get concentration. Sila, foundation, Samadhi, structure, concentration, wisdom, the pinnacle, crown. Okay.
Thank you very much, Bhante. So we are moving to segment 1. Dilim is going to proceed with that. Okay.
Bhante. So as we meditate, we wonder. So we talked about 4 types of jhana earlier. So we want to know the how to differentiate between first jhana, second jhana, or third or fourth. And so I think the audience would like to see the signs of each jhana and what is the feeling. I know we have to block all the 5 perceptions, right?
But okay, you ask 4 questions at the same time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you a little summary.
Okay.
So within these 4 questions, for the first 2 questions, we're gonna ask about the comparison between all 4 stages.
First jhana from the second.
Yeah.
Okay. First jhana has 5 jhanic qualities. They are called vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekaggata. Translated into English, initial application, sustained application, joy, happiness, and concentration. These are the 5 qualities. Now, what is initial application? Although it is translated into English as initial application, I don't think people understand what initial application means. Initial application is the vitakka. In Pali, vitakka. In vitakka, the word vitakka is used for sankappa. What is sankappa in right concentration? Is in the second stage of the Noble Eightfold Path. What is the first one? Sammaditthi, Samma Sankappa. Sankappa, vitakka are synonymous, interchangeable. What is Sankappa? Nekkhamma Sankappa, Avyapada Sankappa, Avihimsa Sankappa. Nekkhamma Sankappa means thought of letting go. Thought of letting go. What should we let go? Greed. As long as you have greed, you cannot concentrate. Your mind will be going to this object and that object, this movie, that animal, this person, this food, that food, and so forth. Mind will jump from object to object because of your greed. So when you want to meditate, gain concentration, you have to let go of that. That is one step of the initial application. One step of the letting go. Second step is avihimsa sankappa. No, avyapada sankappa. Avyapada means non-hatred. Non-hatred. If you are full of hatred, you will be like a sick person. Sick person cannot appreciate anything. So you have to cure your sickness. Similarly, when you are full of anger, you cannot gain concentration. Mind is like boiling water. When the water is boiling, you cannot see the bottom of the pot because it is too hot. Similarly, when you try to gain concentration, if you are angry, you cannot do that, cannot concentrate. Therefore, you have to practice metta to get rid of anger. That is called avyapada sankappa. Avyapada means not hating thought. Avyapada is not hating thought. Then sometimes people are very cruel. They don't mind using harsh words. Sometimes they are piercing their skin and go into the marrow in their bones. The words sometimes they use utter very, very bitter words. And that hurt people. And not to use that and to have compassion is called avihimsa sankappa. No himsa. Avihimsa sankappa. These three thoughts are called vitakka. What are the three thoughts? Thought of letting go, thought of metta, thought of karuna. These three thoughts are called initial application of thought or vitakka in Pali. Vichara is called in English sustained application. Once you achieve these things, you don't let them go. You don't want to lose them. You have to maintain, support them, build up the strength, one upon the other. Therefore, it is called sustain. In economic, sustainable, this is maintaining it. So, this is sustaining a mental state. Then arises joy, piti. Piti arises in 5 stages. Kuddaka, kanika, okkantika, parana, ubbeda. Kuddaka is just like a goosebump. When you meditate, you feel whole body is charged with very cooling, soothing feeling. Kanika, okkantika, kuddaka, kanika. Kanika means like little lightning inside you feel. It come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go very quickly. Then ubbega is kuddaka, kanika, ubbega, parana, spreading all over the body. And then kuddaka, kanika, okkantika. Okkantika actually is spreading, then parana is spreading, and ubbega is uplifting. Actually, these are the stages where joy gradually becoming subtler and subtler and subtler and subtler to lead to happiness. Now, joy and happiness I can explain in a simile. Suppose this is a simile. It's a very beautiful simile to remember. Suppose you are traveling a desert, Gobi or Sahara or desert. You are very thirsty, tired, dry, hungry, and all your energy is drained, but still you have to go. Then suddenly you see a person coming towards you with wet hair, wet clothes, fresh face, very bright, healthy, energetic, coming towards you. Then you may ask, Mister, I am also traveling in the same desert as you do. But see, look at me. I am dry, thirsty, tired, without energy, but you look very fresh, wet, and so forth. What is your secret? He would say, I found an oasis, little lake, and that has very cool, clean water. As soon as you hear this word, you become thrilled. You become thrilled. And this man said, I jumped into it, I drank lotus roots, lotus buds, and drank pure clean water, and swam, and came out to the bank, and rested for a while, and coming with head and so forth. So you would be walking towards the direction that this man was coming from. You go to that direction, as you move on, you can see birds flying to that particular area. As you go a little further, you can hear children jumping and playing with water and singing and so forth. As you go closer, you can see the lake. Then with all your clothes, you jump into it, just like the other man, and swim and eat lotus bud and drink a lot of clean water. And that is your joy, increasing gradually. When you come to the bank or the lake and stretch your hands and legs, relax. That is happiness. That is happiness. So when you gain that happiness, you gain concentration. That is the first jhana. When you gain the first jhana, you feel as Buddha gave a very simile, beautiful simile, good simile. He says, suppose you are going to get into a bathtub and take bath powder, and you pouring little water little by little, you stir it, mix it. Eventually all the bath powder will mix with water. And then you don't find any single lump of bath powder. Similarly, when you gain the first jhana, you feel your entire body is suffused with happiness. And you like to stay there as long as you can, and you get out of it. Before you attain the second jhana, you have to master the first jhana. How you master the first jhana? If you do not master the first jhana, you will be completely confused, bewildered, like a cow going to a pasture and seeing, eating little bit, lift head and see grass is greener over there, over the fence, so she would go there. And eat little bit here and there, and look this way, grass is still greener there. So eventually she gets confused. She cannot find her way back. Similarly, when you attain the first jhana, you should not try to jump into the second. You settle it, make it strong, firm, steady. And there are 5 ways of doing it. They are called avajjana, samapaddana, adhitthana, utthana, paccavekkhana. You reflect on that. Reflect how you attain the first jhana. You know, many people think you attain jhana like a dream. You just sit down, jhana. It doesn't happen that way. You attain the jhana knowing every step clearly, step by step, point by point, gradually you develop. So this is your avajjana, reflecting. And then you determine to attain it, aditthana. You determine to attain and determine to get out of it. Aditthana, utthana. Utthana means getting out of it. Avajjana, samapajjana, aditthana, utthana. And then paccavekkhana, you reflect the steps you followed to attain that, the steps you followed to get out of it, and you do it several times, then you become very strong in that jhana. Then, as you are doing that, you seem to lose interest in initial application and sustained application. That is, you lose interest in letting go, lose interest in metta, lose interest in compassion, because it becomes so natural to you. When you lose interest in it, you gradually glide into the second jhana. You know, some people think you attain the first jhana and you get out of it and then go to the second jhana. It doesn't happen that way. It is just like when you climb steps, you're on the first step. You don't come back to the second step, to go to the second step. You stand on the first step and then lift your foot and put on the second step. Similarly, third step. So some people say you attain the first jhana and then get out of it and then hop into the second jhana. You don't do that. Attaining is that gradual. So once you attain the second jhana, also you use the same 5 methods to make it strong, firm, strengthen. And then second jhana, when you attain second jhana, you lose. You will be like a lotus in the lake. In a lake, lotus stalk, root is all saturated with water. Not one single molecule, cell of the lotus root, lotus stalk is free from water, moisture. Similarly, you feel your entire mind and body charged with happiness when you are the second jhana. And then you master it. It's a very good situation for you to do that. And you don't speak. You cannot, you feel, because vitakka vichara are what Buddha called vaci sankhara. Vaci sankhara, word conditioner. We think before we speak. Think before you jump, like that. And therefore, vitakka vichara, as I said earlier in the first jhana, are word conditioner. Therefore, when we are in the second jhana, we have noble silence. You know, people in meditation, I see they put a label here. Oh, I'm observing noble silence. That is not noble silence. Noble silence is inner silence. Your mind doesn't chip, no word formation in the mind. So when you are in the second jhana, that is much higher in quality than the first jhana, because there are no verbalizing, no word, no thought, without which are disappear. That is why your mind and body are all filled with happiness. Then again you master the second jhana like before. Avajjana, samapajjana, adhiṭṭhāna, utthana, paccayekana. Then as you keep developing it, your joy, as I mentioned in the desert simile, will disappear. Joy will disappear. And you lose interest in that because you have already attained it. And then you gain happiness and equanimity. Upekha ko sukha vihar, upekha ko sukha. Upekha and happiness, and equanimity and happiness. So, Buddha gave a very beautiful simile for that. Beautiful simile. That simile is like a lake again, lake. This lake is so still, calm, peaceful. No rain is whenever it rains, the surface water will be disturbed. And it is overflowing. Whatever dirt is on the surface will be flowing. But at the bottom there is a spring which slowly, gradually brings fresh water. The lake water is always very fresh. Similarly, happiness and equanimity proffuses your mind. And you are very, very calm and relaxed. You feel it. And then again you master it. Avajjana, samapajjana, adhiṭṭhāna, utthāna, paccayekana. Then after that you lose interest in happiness and equanimity, but you don't lose equanimity totally, completely. And then, however, you lose interest in it. And after mastering it, your mind naturally glides into the fourth jhana. Fourth jhana as sukha sajapahana, dukkha sajapahana, pubbeva somanasa domanasana attangama, adukkam asukam, upekkhā satipārisuddhin, chatutta jhānam upasampajjana. You joy, sukha, happiness you let go of in the third jhana, joy you let go of the third jhana, pain you let go of in the first jhana, and mental disappointment you let go of the first jhana. And then after letting go of all of them, what you remain in your mind is real high quality of equanimity and mindfulness. Mindfulness. Remember, that is very interesting. In the Noble Eightfold Path, mindfulness is the seventh step. Seventh step, you remember? Right understanding, right thought, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Mindfulness is the seventh step. When you attain the fourth jhana, this mindfulness plays very important role to lead you to concentration. Mindfulness leads to concentration. Therefore, when these two combine together, you have mindfulness and equanimity. Both are pure, both are parallel. pure. And then you gain 4 jhana. The simile given to illustrate the situation of the 4 jhana is, suppose somebody is sitting in a very quiet, calm place, covered with pure, clean, white cloth. His entire body from top to toes, outside is completely covered with white cloth. When you attain the 4th jhana, you are covered with all these wholesome mental states, pure and clean. That is the 4th jhana. Now, these are the steps, these are differences that you find in 4 jhana and each of them.
Thank you. And our next question is, how can one prepare for jhana meditation?
Practice and application.
This is the 9th one. How can one prepare for? So we talked about how to go from each step one by one, but before everything, like how can we like mindfully prepare for jhana meditation? Is there any guidance from the Buddha? Is like maybe do we follow any like awareness of like any mantra, not mantras, like gathas?
Jhana and the power of concentration, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. We talked about jhana already.
Yes.
And then the power of concentration. I said power of concentration is that it can penetrate all the dark spots in our mind. That is why Buddha said, Samahitang chittang yatha bhutam pajanati. I mentioned this earlier. Samahitang chittang yatha bhutam pajanati. Concentrated mind sees things as they really are. I mentioned what this as they really are means. It is just like a hen lays 10 eggs, and then she just sits on these eggs, and she does not move and look at the eggs to see whether chicks are coming out. Then she will never have chicks. So she simply has to sit on these eggs. As she is sitting, egg gradually incubates, and the inside yellow part, it has the embryo. They slowly mature, and outer part feed the protein, feed the embryo, and slowly, there are little feathers, little legs, little beaks gradually formed. And then when it is fully matured, these chicks slowly hit the egg with the beak. Then the egg breaks. And using the claws, they stretch. And the egg breaks, they come out. Likewise, when you gain concentration, as it becomes stronger and stronger, wisdom increases. Wisdom increases. Wisdom is like these chicks inside the egg. As wisdom increases, and as the chick grows and mature enough to come out, they break the eggshell. Eggshell is like ignorance. Eggshell is like ignorance. Chick is wisdom. When wisdom is complete, it breaks the ignorance or shell.
Break the ignorance.
And then come out. Yeah. Concentration does that. When you gain concentration, it grows and matures, then breaks the shell of ignorance. That is why Buddha said, concentrated mind sees things as they really are. Break through the ignorance, break through the darkness, attain enlightenment. And therefore it is very important thing to remember.
Bhante, yeah. So next section is we want to learn about practice and application. So I would like to invite.
Yeah. So Bhante, we like to know what are some common obstacles people face in jhana practice. You mentioned overcoming the hindrances, and what else? What are the other obstacles that people face in jhana, achieving the jhana practices?
Actually, when you gain jhana, although you lose it, you can regain it easily.
Okay.
You can regain it because you have already built up the foundation, built up the training. So you have to keep it doing it again and again. It is just like when you learn how to walk as a little child, and we keep building our strength, and we keep walking.
Yes.
Now we even can run and jump, play acrobats. So similarly, but we have to repeat it again and again. If you learn how to walk and do not walk for long period of time, then you find a time that you cannot walk at all.
Yes.
Cannot walk at all. I have seen people, I know several people, even in hospital there are two bars like this, asking them to hold and walk. They cannot lift their legs.
Yes.
Because they were sitting all the time and lying down all the time, then these legs become atrophies.
Yes.
When something is atrophy, you can use it. So that is why it is either you use it or lose it. So lose it. So they lose the ability of walking. Similarly, when you gain jhana, you must remember the benefit of jhana that you had while you are practicing. And you do it again and again. In a daily conversation, if you don't pay attention, these days there's a sickness, attention deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
You know that?
Yes.
Attention deficiency.
Yes, Bhante.
Because they have not trained themselves to pay attention. Sometimes when the teacher is teaching very important lesson like science, mathematics, physics, and so forth, they will be talking to each other or looking up and down, scratching their head and scratching the floor and playing games on the classroom. They never learn how to pay attention. Therefore they don't learn what the teacher teaches. And therefore, in order to learn something very deep, you have to have good concentration. And that you have to, once cultivated it, that is why there are 4 types of people. They are called in Pali Ugaritanya, Vipanchatanya, Nyaya, Padaparama. Ugaritanya means the one who has, as soon as he comes in contact with the Dhamma, that instant he attains enlightenment. As soon as he comes in contact with Dhamma, that at moment. Vipanchatanya is, Ugaritanya also there is a simile. Suppose there is a lake where there are lotus buds. Some lotus buds are just out of water, waiting for the sun. As soon as sun ray falls on them, they open. That is Ugaritanya. Vipanchatanya is the lotus bud that is a few inches below the surface, and they take some time to open. That's Vipanchatanya. Vipanchatanya, therefore, is a person who needs instruction, Kalyana Mitra, reflection of Dhamma, and so forth. And the third is Nyaya. Nyaya means the one who is led by others. Kalyana Mitra, Dhammanutama Patipada, Yonasa Manasikara, mindful reflection, practicing long time, and then they attain enlightenment. Padaparami is not even mentioned. Padaparami is the one who is good enough for discussions, writing, words, counting words, and so forth. They never attain enlightenment in this life. And therefore, when you have developed your concentration, you train yourself to pay attention. As soon as you hear the right word, you immediately grasp the meaning. Even in daily conversation, in teaching, in learning, reading books and so forth, you are a very quick learner. That is daily benefit of gaining concentration. Okay?
Yes, Bhante. Yes. Our next question is, what role does mindfulness or the sati play in entering jhana? I think you have addressed most of it. If anything else that you like to input?
For does mindfulness play in attaining jhana?
No, what role does mindfulness play in entering jhana? Yes. Yeah.
As I said, mindfulness is the aspect of right concentration, right, what you call Noble Eightfold Path, right mindfulness. And right mindfulness lead to right concentration. Right mindfulness is you have to remember what you have attained, you have to master it what you have attained, and you have to repeat it. Bhavitabha, Bauligataba, Yanikataya, Vattukataya, Anuttitaya, Parichitaya, Susamaradhaya. You make your attainment like your property with mindfulness. When you gain mindfulness, you make it as your property, but don't hold on to it. For instance, when you gain something, Buddha said, Yodhetamaram panyayudhena, Gitanjarake anivesanosya. This is a very good advice. Kumbhu mankaya mimang vedita nagaru panchita midan tapetta Yodhetamaram panyayudhena Gitanjarake anivesanosya. See your body like a pot of clay pot. It is brittle. Anytime it can break up, fall sick and so forth. Nagarupa Chittamidan, mind is like a city, full of activities. And then among these activities there are many, many unwholesome activities. And you got to overcome them with wisdom. Jitanjara yodhetamaram panyayudena. Panyayuda means weapon of wisdom. With weapon of wisdom is mindfulness. Weapon of wisdom is mindfulness. You fight these enemies, unwholesome states, and then when you gain, after fighting, you gain something. Once you gain something, don't hold on to it. Then you have not gained. Holding on to anything means increase your greed. And therefore mindfulness is a very delicate, at the same time very powerful state for gaining true concentration. Buddha gave another simile. Suppose you hear people talk about the most beautiful girl dancing on a stage, dancing. A lot of people crowded. The hall is filled to the capacity. And this man wants to see this beautiful girl. And he comes, then somebody gives him a pot of oil filled to the brim. Filled to the brim. And ask him to put it on his head. Another man is coming with a sword behind, very sharp sword. The challenge is he has to move through the crowd. Crowd is, clapping and booing and laughing to see this beautiful girl. With all these things, you have to carry this ball of oil without dropping one drop. The man behind you has a sword like this. He said, if you drop one drop, your head will cut off. Now, so he has to have a very great mindfulness to stay on this. And people are pushing him here, pushing there, because they want to see. Moreover, he heard that she also singing. Now she has two. One thing is beautiful, second is dancing, third is singing. So he is dying to see this girl. At the same time carrying this pot of oil with the threat of death. Buddha said, similarly, within all these disturbances, you remain mindful, you must have a good concentration. So this is the quality of mindfulness for you to gain good concentration. Becoming aware of all the obstacles. Now, therefore, mindfulness is absolutely or rather proximate cause of concentration.
Thank you, Bhante. Yeah. We move to the next one. Can insight vipassana arise during a jhana?
Yes. Now, through jhana you can attain insight. As I said earlier, you don't have to have a jhana to attain insight. Insight means mindfulness, actually very powerful. Now, your question is insight vipassana arise during jhana. Now, that's why I said in the fourth jhana, when you gain the fourth jhana, mindfulness and equanimity are balanced. Mindfulness and equanimity are balanced. So mindfulness, as in other similarly I mentioned, always put you on the track. And when you gain jhana, mindfulness strengthens the jhana. And there are 4 ways of attaining liberation. One is samatha pubbanga vipassana, vipassana pubbangama samatha, yuganadha, and ajjhatan samprasadana. That is, you practice vipassana followed by jhana. That means you practice vipassana first and then attain jhana. Or you attain jhana first and then gain vipassana. Or you combine these two together. Yuganadha. Yuga means two. Combine these together. Or your mind will internally settle down. For instance, there is a discourse in Majjhima Nikaya called Dvedha Vitaka Sutta. Dvedha means 2 kinds of thoughts. Buddha put all his thoughts into 2 categories, positive and negative, wholesome and unwholesome. When unwholesome thought arises, he talked to himself, this unwholesome thought is harmful to me, harmful to others, harmful to both, then I should not cultivate it. So eliminate it and go to the wholesome side. Wholesome thought arises. I have non-greed, generosity. It is beneficial to me, beneficial to others, beneficial to both. He cultivated. When he cultivates the wholesome thought like this, day and night, then his mind settles inside. That is called ajjhatan samprasadana. Settle down inside. He can spend with that state day and night. And therefore, gaining jhana sometimes helps vipassana, or vipassana sometimes helps jhana. Okay?
So we are moving to advantages and benefit for our daily life. There are 3 questions there. What are the results of deep samadhi in daily life? And how does jhana help with concentration, stress, and modern mental distraction?
The results of deep samadhi in daily life. That's what I said. In daily life, you are calm, relaxed, peaceful. You don't get upset, agitated. You can practice patience. Patience is very important thing. Buddha said, Yoga uppatitam kodam ratam bhantam vadharaye tamahang saratim bhumi rasmig gao itaro jano. If somebody abruptly stop very high-speed horses very quickly, he is a real cart driver. Others are just rein holders. That means when can he stop his raging anger? Right there. He's a hero. That means when you practice meditation, again concentration, you have trained your mind. As soon as unwholesome state is going to arise, you immediately stop it. Don't even let it arise in the mind. Immediately stop it. That is the power of concentration, or deep jhanic concentration, deep samadhi in a day. I think that is extremely important for daily life when two people, husband and wife, children and parents, boyfriends and girlfriends, if there is some kind of thought arising in the mind, immediately stop it, don't express it. If the other person is going to hurt, you know in advance. If I say this, other person is going to hurt. So I will not express it, immediately stop it. Other person even doesn't not know what kind of thought you have. So there is no friction. No friction. And therefore, this type of concentration is extremely important.
Thank you, Bhante. We'll move into segment 4. That's the last segment that Dilum is going to take care. Okay, go ahead.
Bhante would like to learn about your experience with Jhana. So our first question, can Bhante G share his first experience with Jhana?
Well, I don't remember how I gained Jhana first time. If I have gained it, it might have been long, long ago. Now I don't remember. But the steps are the same, that anybody can gain it. So when it repeats, it is just like asking, do you remember when you got hungry first? Yes. Yes.
Good one. Yes.
You cannot remember that.
So the last questions we have, since you're completing your PhD dissertation on Jhana, how has your understanding of practice evolved over all the decades that you have teaching it?
Since I wrote my dissertation on what is called critical analysis of jhanas in Theravada Buddhist meditation, I have given many, many lectures on this. Every time I gave a lecture, I began to learn more things than I wrote in the dissertation. Because dissertation is primarily limited to certain pages, certain words, and so forth. And also that is presentation for intellectuals.
Yes.
I see.
So intellectual approach is one, practical experience is another. Intellectualists don't understand this so well as you gain from your practice. And therefore, since I wrote it many years ago, as I was maturing, practicing, seeing, teaching, and so forth, I saw different more aspects in Jhana. And therefore it is difficult to put them in a nutshell because so many areas are open.
Yes.
Especially to separate greed from our experiences and keep pure experiences to ourselves and let go of greed from the experience is difficult. For instance, eyes. There are 10 moments that greed can arise through the eye every day. 10 moments. Eye, visual objects, eye consciousness, eye contact, sensation that arises through the eye contact, and then perception of form, thought of form, desire, greed arises for form, and thinking about it, and examination. 10. Each stage you gain desire, attain desire. Now, then that desire must be separated from each of them. If the desire has to the I must see this I is impermanent, unsatisfactory, subject to change, it is subject to appear, subject to disappear, subject to fading away. It is conditioned and it is dependent relation. Therefore, it is not mine, I am not it, it is not myself. When I see this like this, I will be disenchanted with the I. Disenchanted, separate desire from the I. Separate desire. Disenchanted. Viraga. Viraga is, raga means gluing. Viraga means not gluing, separate. Viraga vimochati, separate. When it is separated, I know that the desire is dropped, faded, disappeared. Only the I continues practice in its own way. So we can see this in our experience. And you can write it in a thesis or dissertation.
Yes.
People will be interested in that. And therefore, since I wrote the dissertation, up to now I developed all these things from my own personal experience through the practice.
Thank you. Yes. Okay, Bhante. So we are at the closing now. I have one last question. What is your final thought or message for practitioners?
I think message for practitioners is, as I repeated many times,
Yes.
don't give excuses not to practice.
Okay.
People are very smart in giving excuses. I am hungry,
Not to practice.
I am sick, I cannot practice. I have work to do, I cannot practice. Not to make a journey, I cannot practice. I am sleepy, I cannot practice. Time is coming to see, I cannot practice. Friends, I have to visit friends, I cannot practice. Not for excuses, they give themselves not to practice.
Yeah.
I say, try to give reason or excuses for practicing.
Thank you.
I have to make a journey. When I am traveling, I cannot practice. Therefore, practice now, before I start there.
Yes.
After journey, you don't think I am very tired. You must think, while I was traveling, I could not practice. Now I practice. Build up momentum.
Yes.
Practice. If you have a little sickness, don't say I'm sick because you must say, I'm little sick. Before it increases, when it increases my sickness, I cannot practice. Therefore, let me practice now.
Yeah.
When you recover from sickness, you must tell yourself that while I was sick, my body was aching and pain here and there. Now I practice. As soon as you get well a little bit, practice. If you are hungry, well, I ate yesterday, I eat today. Before I get hungry again, I will practice now. And after eating, you say, while I was eating, I could not practice. Of course, some people can practice, but they have not practiced while eating. Then I think, well, during eating, I could not practice. Now I practice. Like that, try to find reasons, excuses, occasions, moments to practice.
Yes. Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Bhante. So we are honored to have you, Bhante, and we are wishing you healthy, happy, long life, and look forward to see you for many more years. And we like to continue this kind of session, especially with the younger generation who is going to bear the ball.
Okay, thank you very much. Don't wish me long life. Long I live, most of the thing I experience. I know that from my own experience now.
Yes.
97 is long enough.
Yeah.
I don't know how long I lived, but during this 97 years, I went through all kinds of pains and suffering.
Yes.
Now they are increasing as I grow older,
Yes.
and therefore just wish me good health.
Good health.
Good health.
We are wishing you good health, Bhante. Yeah. For our dear audience, we like to mention there are a few YouTube sessions that Bhante G hosted on Jhana, in addition to the 6-day residential retreat at the Bhavana Society somewhere about 7 years ago, I think in 2016. Please plan to view them. And also there are several books that Bhante G has written, and then residential retreat, as well as some YouTube session. Enjoy. Thank you very much.